Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about a movie that I'm slightly disappointed in.
Modern movie review.
The movie I'm talking about is the Peter Pan and Wendy movie that came out on Disney Plus a couple days ago. I didn't know this movie was coming out until the beginning of this month, and I didn't really have any high expectations for it or anything. But the trailers look all right. They look kind of promising. Jude Law plays Captain Hook, and Jude Law is a pretty solid actor. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. I think this is gonna be good. I think it has potential. It was a whole lot of nothing. It was an hour and 30 minutes, and something that I don't like about this is if you're gonna make a live action remake of a movie, you need to do one of two things. You either need to go like deeper into the character works, or you need to include something new. Like, I don't like the whole remakes where it's literally the exact same plot of the first movie. And this was essentially that. They tried going a little deeper into Captain Hook's backstory, but it doesn't work super well. One of the most important lines in the movie, this really annoyed me. I was watching this movie with my sisters. One of the most important like lines that's supposed to be like a big reveal is said by this like one of the Lost Boys, a little kid, and he whispers it to Wendy, and you literally like have to have it on like full volume or you will not hear what he says. And that kind of annoyed me. Because what's it called? He says Hook wasn't always Hook, and I was low key annoyed that we had to rewind that like six times to hear that part. That's a very small nitpicky thing though. Overall, I don't think that any of the actors or actresses necessarily did anything wrong, but I also don't think any of them did anything really good. The kid who played Peter Pan, I didn't really have any problems with him because he was unbearably naive. I did hate the character of Peter Pan in this, which it's kind of like, yeah, you probably would because it's a little boy telling other little kids, "Hey, it's not cool to grow up. You don't want to grow up. It sucks growing up." And what's it called? So that worked for me. I think that Peter Pan, for the most part, if they were trying to paint him in a light that he's not a great person, worked. He didn't have any like funny dialogue. I remember growing up thinking Peter Pan was one of the like funniest characters, one of the coolest characters. There wasn't a lot here to be like, oh my god, I love Peter Pan. He's so cool. Like there really wasn't. I think it's really weird. It's Peter Pan and Wendy, and like Peter Pan has maybe like 10 minutes of screen time in the entire movie. Tinkerbell in this movie was very underutilized. I feel like she has a lot of comedic stuff in the original animated movie that they did absolutely nothing with in this movie. She just kind of appears randomly, starts waving at people, makes little noises, and like it sucks because the actress who plays what's it called, Tinkerbell, is relatively good at acting. She's been like the lead in multiple TV shows or whatever, and in this she does absolutely nothing. And I think that that's a big problem with this movie specifically is the writing is so like minimal. What's it called? I feel like a lot of the actors and actresses don't really have a chance to really show any like good acting skills because there's not a lot there for them to work with. And what's it called? I think that that's really a big problem because it's an hour and 30-minute long movie, and a lot of it is just watching people walk. It's what's it called? You get to Neverland, which is supposed to be like this cool magical place. The Lost Boys are supposed to be so upbeat and excited, and a bunch of friends and kind of like wild adventurers. And like they're not. They're really boring. They're kind of just a bunch of kids just kind of standing there. Which once again, you can't really get too on to like what's it called, kid actors in this sense, because for the most part, if there's kid actors that aren't doing a good job acting, it's mostly because the directors or the writers don't really give them stuff to do, so they're just kind of there. And it's very apparent. A lot of the scenes where you first meet the Lost Boys, they're just kind of standing in a circle, not really doing anything. None of them really have a chance to shine. The majority of them have maybe like one line in the entire movie. Another thing that really bothers me while we're talking about the Lost Boys, there's a character named Tiger Lily. I'm pretty sure that's the name. It's a character that's a Native American, kind of looks like a young Pocahontas or whatever. Um, I'm going to say something, and I don't want to get canceled or attacked or anything like this, but the casting for that low-key bothered me a little bit, and before someone's just like, it was a Native American girl, I'm okay with that. I googled the actress or whatever. There are multiple websites saying she's somewhere from 24 to 28, and I could tell, like, watching it, it's, like, really weird, because it's like, here's these little kids, and then there's her, and I'm like, that's a full-ass adult, and I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, they should have done a better job finding a kid, but I will say that she kind of stuck out like a sore thumb, and I don't know if that, like, is a part of the character, because I'm gonna be honest, until she showed up in the live action, I didn't really remember there being some Pocahontas-esque, Native American princess. I didn't remember that, but what's it called? That kind of bothered me a little bit that character looked like a full-grown adult, and like their whole shtick is that they're not growing up or whatever. Very minor thing, but that annoyed me. And like, what's it called? All the Lost Boys for the most part did okay, but like I said, they had nothing to do almost the entire movie. The entire pirates crew or whatever for Captain Hook did all right, but once again, they had nothing to do the entire movie. The guy who played Schmeeg looked a lot like Schmeeg. That was like perfect casting. That was great. For the most part, Jude Law did okay as Captain Hook. I think that, he's definitely a decent enough actor that he was able to work with the little bit that he had. But once again, underdeveloped. Like, there's a lot of interesting stuff. Like, it's revealed Captain Hook used to be one of the Lost Boys. He used to be best friends with Peter. And I feel like there should be more tension there, but there's really not. And it's kind of like you're just like told that they knew each other, but like Peter Pan doesn't give off any like vibes like he's ever met this guy and never actually knew him or whatever. Captain Hook definitely has a vendetta against him, but it doesn't necessarily seem personal until they reveal that they knew each other, and then all of a sudden it's personal. I feel like a lot of this is just, once again, poor writing. If you're gonna make a remake of something, you really got to do something, flesh it out, make it cooler, do more character work, and you can tell that they tried doing it, but the final product is just bare bones minimum. It's not a lot of interesting stuff. It's not really worth watching. What's it called? Like I said, this movie is an hour and 30 minutes, and I swear the majority of the runtime is watching the Lost Boys go from one area to another area, or watching the pirates go from one area to another area. And it's a whole lot of nothingness. It's a whole lot of exposition dump, exposition dump, exposition dump, and almost none of it gets a really good payoff. What's it called? Overall, the CGI and it looked good. What's it called? There was definitely potential for this to be a decent movie because, like I said, I don't think any of the cast did a bad job. I think that with what they had, they did all right. The girl who played Wendy did pretty good as well. I'm like, overall, typically I'm not a big fan of kid actors or actresses, but this script did so little at giving us anything to work off that I can't tell if it's like bad acting or if they just had nothing to do, because that's what it kind of seems like. But that being said, it wasn't the worst thing ever. It had some good songs. It had a couple funny moments. Um, so I wouldn't really recommend watching it. I was gonna say I would recommend watching it. I wouldn't. I would say don't waste your time unless you have an hour and 30 minutes and you want to watch one of your childhood favorite movies get ruined. Go for it. But yeah. So that being said, my final rating for it, I don't want to put it too far down, right? Because they're trying their best to kind of do something here. But I definitely think that of the Disney remakes that have came out in recent years, this was by far the worst. And it was very disappointing. So I'm gonna give it a solid 52 out of 100. I think it deserved that probably like F, but it's like mid-range, right? Like it's not terrible, but I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't really recommend anybody to watch it. Didn't have a lot of like key moments that stood out to me, but yeah, that's just me. Obviously, don't take my opinions to heart. If you want to go watch it for yourself and make your own opinion for it, I definitely recommend going and doing that. And then maybe if you go and watch it and you really enjoy it, you could come back and discuss the movie with me and tell me why I'm wrong, because I really wanted to like this movie, but I did not. So, but yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out.